this high noon and welcome. Are you prepared to draw? I hope so. And I don't mean any of that Lizzie gun slinging stuff. I don't mean any of that arty stuff. I'm here to do that. You all will just draw together, become family, friends, help each other, support each other, all that stuff. This is a place to have a good old time, friends and fun, and all that stuff. Okay? This is it.
And hello, everyone out there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have Model 316 with me today.
Hey, Rick.
As I said earlier, that nobody else would have heard, but it's been a while since you've been on, which is good to have you on.
Yeah, it's been a few months, hasn't it?
Yeah. So, well, what have you been up to?
Just sitting around in the dark.
Okay. Sitting around in the dark. Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, it's a great thing. Yeah, I've just pretty much relaxed for the last few months.
Well, that's good then.
And this morning I decided to do something.
Cool. Get all my stuff and bring it out the other day.
What are you working on today, Rick?
Well, I am working on the last part of page 4. This drawing up that log cabin house that I showed people yesterday.
Is this from the issue 1?
Yeah.
Now, Rick, are you doing a complete remake of the first version?
At this point, it seems like it because I've redone every single page. The only thing that's been different thus far, I haven't decided how different it's going to be, is the first page, not the first page, the cover. And I might end up redoing the cover, but keep it the same, if that makes any sense. Just completely redraw it. Well, the eyes on the cover need to be changed to include this panel because that panel's different.
The eyes where it's viewing through the mask?
Yeah.
Because I am very familiar with the first issue of the Canadian Shield.
Oh, yeah. Did I send you a copy?
You did.
I forget who I sent a copy or sent the link to, technically.
In fact, just the other night, I read the whole thing to Kat.
Oh, yeah? What'd you think?
Yeah, she loved it. Yeah, that's why we were wondering if you were going to add anything new to this one, any twists, or if you were going to just do a straight remake.
Well, I'm not sure. Let's see. There might be one spot. I'm not sure whether it is in here. I know quite like this right here. These top 2 panels are different, slightly. It's just re-imaging stuff, some stuff. I just gotta see whether the page. I'm not sure even what page it is. Oh, page 16. You probably got the one where it shows somebody in the back seat of the airplane.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well.
So are you going to retcon anyone? Are you changing any characters around?
Well, there's not so much to retcon in this or whatever. I'm going to hopefully draw everything a lot better. Well, so far looks way better. I would assume.
I think so. So in the first issue, there were a lot of places where you put in photographs.
Yeah.
To hope. Are you drawing all that this time?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be good.
That's knows a lot of the intent. I might bring up reference to look at for stuff like that, but
Sure.
ultimately, like, heck, just this panel where he's got the thing, this holding on to the cape, that was a photograph, right? So
Mhm.
now that's no longer a photograph,
Yeah, and I remember like the picture of the church, and there were some different ones like that were photographs. So that'll be good.
Yeah.
Are you gonna color it, or are you gonna leave it black and white?
I'm going to color it.
Because I like the black and white, to be honest. I was looking at it yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of black and white.
Yeah. I like the color. Well, especially you got to show off the red for the Canadian Shield, the red and white. So.
Well, you could do it black and white and red.
Yeah.
Like a Frank Miller.
Yeah. I personally do like I like color in my comic books. Yeah, black and white is nice. A lot of them too. Maybe that's something I can do. Uh, at a special tier release. A black and white version.
There you go.
Everybody gets a black and white version of the first one. Just maybe that's like a $25,000 stretch goal. Because I've also
25, Rick.
No, well, you don't. Well, see, no, that's if I get to 25,000, everybody gets that for free.
I think you should set your numbers a little bit lower for your campaign so that you fund. That's something I learned. You want to fund very, very quickly so that you have the in-demand option.
Oh, no. My goal for funding is only going to be probably like $2,000.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. And then
that, like
you also show up in trending faster.
Yeah. Now me, I'm going to, like I said, the whatchamacallit is that 25,000. That's a stretch goal. If I get there, everybody gets a free black and white copy of Canadian Shield #1. I'm gonna obviously have, probably a $5,000 stretch goal, maybe a $3,000. I'm gonna work out a whole bunch of other stretch goals. I have no idea what they are going to be at this point, but
also start working on that right away, because that is a huge amount of work.
Yeah.
You won't believe it when you get started doing it. It's gonna be like overwhelming setting up the campaign.
Yeah, well, I want to make sure I'm going to be. I'd like to do for the 7th of January, but.
Okay, so you got some time. You can have your book done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea, considering how a lot of these campaigns have turned out. Being so late, it's not a bad idea where you can, in the campaign, you could say that it's done.
It's
ready to go to print.
No, I will not have KISS imprint cards, Raven.
You have just a card, and it's got like just a print of like a couple of old teeth printed into it. No lips. That'd be good.
Is there going to be a maple syrup tier? Not at this point. Although somebody did suggest quite some time ago, and I think it was Brad Noble, who comes in from time to time. He used to come in almost every day in the chat. But he suggested a Canadian Shield maple syrup bottle as a tier. Which I thought was a good idea at the time, and still do, but I've looked into it, trying to get them made. It'd probably be really, really expensive. The bottles, and then especially getting them filled out.
Well, no, what you want to do, Rick, is you want to find a company that already does promotional.
Yeah.
because there's companies that do that stuff for gift shops, and they have the packaging and the label already. All they do is go into Photoshop and print a new label.
Yeah. But no, what I mean is no, the person was talking, the bottle itself looks like the Canadian Shield.
Oh, that'll cost you a fortune, man. You can't do that.
Yeah, well, that's what I said.
Because you'll have to, they'd have to create a mold for blow molding the bottles, and yeah, it'll cost you thousands of dollars just to get the setup.
Yeah. Well, that's why, I decided not such a great idea. Or, that's a $200,000 or $300,000 stretch goal. Well, I've decided every 50,000 I'm going to release a new comic. Now they won't get it at the same time. They won't get it at the same time as Canadian Shield #1, but a month later they'll get the Canadian Shield #2. Or hopefully Snowdrift #1 is that's 150,000. Or no, 100,000. They'd get Canadian Shield #2 and Snowdrift #1 at basically the same time. A month later, if I got there, they'd get those ones. And let's see. Bullet says, is model Brandon #4?
I'm Scott #2.
Raggedy Man says, Brandon 316. JP4 says, Kat is being very liberal with models. Time.
Oh, she's at work. I was able to sneak out.
Let's see. Santa Raven says, how much for a Christmas card featuring Jesus and Scully kissing? Well, I'll get to you on that. We got Bean from Pennsylvania here. Hello, Bean. Bullet says, expect his head card.
That'd be kind of nice, Rick, for a Christmas card.
Yeah.
So you and Scully, and sitting in front of a fire. Scully's got a nice sweater on. Nice Christmas sweater.
Wouldn't it be a hoodie?
Oh, not necessarily.
Raggedy says, hey, Bean. JP4 says, Bean, wow. Raven says, Bean. Raggedy says, Savaki Crystal Canadian Shield. Okay, I have no idea what that means exactly. Bullet says, hey, Bean. Bean says, hey, guys, I'm driving but listening. Cool. JP4 says, why do all Rick's guests eventually disappear? JP4 says, having Bean is a big time, Rick. Bean's been here before. She's been here before. So what are you making there today?
I'm just redecorating my bedroom, putting up some more Winnie the Pooh stuff.
Winnie the Pooh and Tigatoo.
It's my new OC. It's about a bear and a pig and a donkey.
And a tiger. Oh, it's murder most foul, JP. So that's something from. Oh yeah, I'm seeing his legs there.
I'm just doing a little relief carving.
I hate this. Trying to get this image and I can't seem to get it right. Can't get the perspective right.
Oh, well, what are you working on?
Well, show you. Oh, what the-
Could probably help get you sorted out.
it's just trying to figure out where to put the line. So
So that top picture, that's a screen.
yeah, it's like a computer screen.
Okay, so you can have
And hello,
your perspective can be independent of that room if you're doing that.
Yeah, but no, it's trying to get the perspective in the thing.
So what are you drawing in her?
That's what I'm about to show you.
What's up, Rick?
Not much. Yourself?
Hey, you
See-
doing? All right.
See that house there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Okay.
trying to put that into 3D. It's a little bit more 3D-ish looking.
Okay, so first you have to pick your horizon line in the photo.
Yeah. Which I was sort of picking right about here, this
You
line
got to
here.
switch back to your drawing board.
Oh yeah, you can't see.
Yeah.
And how are you today, Avery?
I'm good, man. How about you guys?
Hey.
Good.
So the horizon line always rises to the level of your eye. No matter
Yeah.
where you could be standing on a mountain and the horizon line is always going to be to your eye. So you have to pick a horizon line, and the best thing to do is going to be to pick it based on that photo, or it's going to be, unless you're doing like an extreme, like 3-point perspective from above or below, just pick a horizon line that
Yeah.
goes through that screen.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be a bit above. From what I'm not sure whether you can see here.
Okay, so if you go from a bit above, that means you're going to have to use 3-point perspective.
Yeah,
If you put the horizon line through that image, then you can do 2-point.
yeah.
Okay, so
Oh, I've got a
first,
line right.
sketch. Try this first, Rick. So you can find your perspective points. Sketch the shape of the footprint of the building where you want it. Not the building, just like the foundation, the shape. So it would be basically squares or a couple of squares. How they lay on the ground.
Yeah.
Start there. So you don't even have to worry about your vanishing points yet. Just kind of sketch where you want your building to be, real lightly. And then you can find your points from there. Whoa, Too Fast, Too Furious just went by.
Oh, my mom's here. Raggedy says hi. JP for mentioning perspective yesterday. I should get credit for this. I already knew that I needed to do the perspective, and it was probably going to be 3-point perspective. I started with 2, and I realized quickly that it was going to be like 3. Hence why I've got the line up here, a line here, and I picked a couple points, but
Well, you're missing your horizon line because those 2 points have to be on the horizon line. They have to be.
well, this is what I was picking for the horizon line here, but Probably maybe I should go lower.
No,
or-
the horizon line is not there. The horizon line's always going to be above. So imagine like if you look out on something, the horizon line is always going to be above. The horizon line will never be that low.
yeah,
That's
but
what's
sort of
messing you up.
I'm looking sort of down on it. So
Right, but the horizon line always rises to the level view of your eye, so the horizon line will never be down that low.
So you're saying it'd be right through the.
It would be up. That's what's messing you up.
Okay.
So imagine if you're standing on top of a mountain, Rick, and you look straight out, the horizon line is going to be out in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
The horizon line will never be down on the ground.
Okay. So yeah, this thing. Yeah. This would be more like the horizon line up here. The actual
No,
horizon.
way up at the top.
Like. Hello. Well, Joshua's in here with another nap.
even if you're looking down at the roof of a building, the horizon line is going to be way above that roof of that building.
Yeah.
And you can trust me on this, Rick.
Yeah, I am. And I'm getting what you're saying too.
So just establish a horizon line, which is probably going to be just sketch a light horizon line, like 2/3 up on your
Yeah,
picture.
well, I got a second piece of paper here. I can, sort of see, which is really just the back of page 1. And hello, Game Motron. How are you today? So let's see if
Good morning, Sister Motron.
If I picked, see here. Well, let's see. We did that. Is that one? That means. Yeah, the horizon line is going to be way over here. Off this piece of paper that I'm working on. That I got.
Depending on your angle looking down on a building, it could be off. It could be off the picture higher.
Yeah, well, we're going with the basic shape, as I did. And to not use that basic angle. Let's see if I move this down on the paper more. What happens? Do we get?
How do I share my screen on this StreamYards?
There should be at the bottom something that says share screen. And then I've got to click it on to share.
All right, let me see if I can find this here.
Yeah, you may have to tape your paper down to the table with some scrap paper, like all around it, to get your vanishing points and horizon line.
Yeah.
That happens. That's the reason I like to do all the penciling for stuff like that digitally. It makes it easier.
I just gotta move all this junk off my. Just drop it all.
Move this over here and share screen.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I think I'm sharing screen now.
Yeah, well, you are, but you're not. You are. I just gotta click it and let.
Well, come on, Rick.
So you are sharing your screen now. I'm letting everybody see the screen you are sharing. Let's see. Game Mode Tron says, I'm sometimes with the flat. I think he means wish the Earth was flat. We'd all be in the same time zone. Why are there time zones? Because the Earth is round. because we move around the sun.
I don't know, Rick. I don't know about that. A paper plate is round. Okay, so you see my screen?
Yeah.
So let's just imagine that this is your computer screen. Okay, so
Yeah.
even if your building is here, the horizon, if you're looking down at an angle, your
Yeah.
horizon line is probably up here somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, I got that.
So what you can do is you can use a quick sketch to find your points. You can either pick your points first or find them later. So if you know that you want to have like the foundation of your building, let's say you decide you want your building foundation to be like this. And you could just do it as a sketch.
Yeah.
Then you can use this to find your points. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do. You like focus on myself here.
So
As
he was saying, you may have to extend your points off your drawing board,
Yeah.
depending on how far it is.
As you can see right here, I've got the foundation. I drew, like cubes, for the, well, more than the foundation. I drew the basic shape as you said originally. So
Yeah,
now
all you need is your foundation, because
that
is you're gonna draw your points off of that. So one side of your perspective is based on those first set of lines. So you have one here, and then you have one here. Now you can pick your horizon.
Yeah, I've got my nice long ruler here. Oh, fairly
So
long.
if I have a point right about there, then that chooses.
And I was trying to go off of that one point, and I realized this line here that nobody can see. Hopefully, but this line here, which I have as my horizon line, which is up above.
So now, if you're looking,
like you said, I gotta do something for more paper to get to it.
Yeah, tape your drawing to the table so it doesn't move, and then you can just put, if you have like masking tape, you can just put a little bit of masking tape on your table, and you can draw a dot on it.
It's my computer, but you're breaking up a bit, I think. Well, yeah, I know you are. To me, anyways.
Well,
it's probably fine to everybody else, but
yeah, your camera was potatoing a little bit earlier.
Mine or Rick's?
Rick's.
Okay.
Yeah, his camera was potatoing.
I've got a pretty strong internet connection, so
my internet is not stable for whatever dumb reason.
So where's your third point of perspective going to be, Rick?
Pardon?
Where's your third point of perspective going to be?
I hear something about where's my perspective?
Your third point.
I'm not quite sure. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay.
I know
if you're looking down, it's going to be below.
With this one here, this line here, like if I have, I could probably, I could maybe do it and have it right there.
Nope.
Well, let's see whether this will work with it. Just this far above.
Can you hear me, Rick?
A word if that.
Let me reconnect.
You sound fine to me.
Oh, okay. Then it's Rick's.
So it's Rick. Your camera's clear. Your audio's clear for me. It's okay. Rick that keeps kind of getting sketchy.
So Rick, your third point of perspective is going to be below your drawing. It has to be. 2 points. Your first 2 points are on the horizon line. Your third point is going to be down below.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it may be way down below, depending on the angle.
Yeah, how extreme your angle is.
So it could be converging somewhere way
Hold
below
on.
your drawing.
I'll be right back.
Rick, it may be easier to do this entire to sketch out the scene he's looking for on a separate piece of paper and then lightbox it to transfer
Probably.
to that one.
Or do it in Photoshop when he scans into color.
Exactly. That's the reason I do all my layouts like this when I'm doing sequentials and stuff or doing something for production. I block it all out in Photoshop first and print it. It gets rid of all these problems of having to lightbox things and have, scrap pieces of paper way off.
Yeah. Don't worry about the chat.
Rick will get mad. He won't listen to me.
You're giving him good advice, man. You're right on.
I am listening to you.
He's not steering you wrong, Rick. He's telling you the truth.
Yeah, Rick, we got to get you like a 50-foot Cat5 cable so you can plug directly into your router. That's your problem. Wi-Fi will never be good enough to run a stream like this.
Yeah, it's not.
Wi-Fi is crap.
I have a direct connection into my computer.
Oh, that's not good. So you got a cable hooked up?
Yeah, I got Ethernet cable right into my laptop.
Oh my God, Rick.
It just might be a service provider.
Okay.
And I still got problems.
Well, when I do Hangouts with Kat, sometimes it's great, and then sometimes she's just robots. So I think there's a lot of hops between Scandinavia and where I am.
Yeah.
Take that down a little bit. It stops moving on me.
Yeah, you know what you should do, Rick?
Gamatron says I blame Rogers. I'm not with Rogers.
Rick, you know what you should do?
Pardon?
What you should do is draw that picture on a completely different, just get a piece of like printer paper or something and draw that image on there, and then comp it in when you do your coloring in Photoshop, or do something else like draw it on a different piece of paper and lightbox it in, because you're going to probably have a lot of construction lines and things that you have to erase later, rather than trying to do it on your finished page and end up erasing a hole through the paper or messing up the paper. Or you could do it the old school way, which would be to draw it on another piece of paper and cut it out with a razor blade, and then paste it onto the page.
Is this view of this building on a computer
I'm
monitor?
getting every third word.
Oh, that's okay. What about the chat? Are you guys getting every third word from me, or are you getting all of my annoying accent?
I'm not having any problem hearing you. You're coming through clear.
Yeah, I hear you clear as well. So
Yeah, well, my mom's got this stream. It shouldn't matter, I don't think, but my mom's got it on our TV using a Roku, and then she's got it on our other computer so she can see the chat.
Yeah, she's eating up bandwidth.
It's my end. I know that.
wow, she's like the #1 Cross Comics fan.
Yeah, when I leave my Xbox on and I go to stream, sometimes I have problems. So, eating up bandwidth.
Yeah, because you only have so much upload and download.
Yeah, so I shut everything else off. Yeah, that could be the culprit. The Roku and another computer both streaming the video will cause a problem.
JP4 says, I can stream 85 different devices at a time. I have godlike internet. I don't know whether it's my computer, the internet, router. Could be any of them.
Do you know what your up and down load speeds are?
I have no idea what you just said, except for do you?
He asked what your upload and download speeds are.
I know you said something to me and asked me a question, Avery, but
Yeah,
He's not hearing. He's not hearing either one of us.
Oh yeah, it's you, Rick. Oh man. Yeah, your camera's real potatoey right now too, dude.
and it seems the more people I got, when I'm here, I'm here by myself, I don't hear anybody. But
Mother,
I'm
you're
starting
stealing
to
all the
get more
bandwidth.
people. But I want more people too on the thing. So
Do you need me to dip out?
No, it's not. It's not that, because we're going to Streamlabs or to StreamYard. We're going to their server because you and I can hear each other perfect.
Yeah. There's no issue. Your camera's clear. Your audio's clear.
And technically, as far as I know, we should be going out clear on the stream.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to Rick's computer first.
Yeah. Rick's got that potato internet. He's got that America Online still.
okay, I have no idea what you guys are saying.
Wow, we could take over the show.
Yeah.
We could just start doing like a second show.
Yeah.
And Rick can join in when he feels like it.
Oh man.
Sorry if I'm not responding. It's just
You don't know what we're saying.
Maybe it'll clear up in a little bit. Yeah, if Rick's mom is running the stream on 2 different devices, she could definitely help by shutting one of those down.
It should, in theory.
Gamertron says, I used to have to manage Switch, and then I lived with my parents, and I told it to give me priority when I wanted to. Joshua says, Rick needs to upgrade to HughesNet. Rick, go to speedtest.com. Okay. I can do that.
Oh, don't do it now. You can't afford any.
Uh-oh.
There we go, speed test.
A lot of the Canadian internet still involves striking a barrel with an old bone.
Oh no, dude. That's funny.
.13 ping MS, 40.20 megabytes per second for download, and it's going 10.70 something for upload.
Yeah, that's your problem.
Yeah, that's way low. Oh man, what's going on there? That sounds like more than just having
upload or the download.
The upload.
The upload is awful. there's something going on there. I don't even know if that's if two devices streaming this at the same time can even account for that. Something that's bad.
I have no idea what you guys said.
Oh man.
I would think he would be able to keep a stream running at 10.
I know when I looked into upgrading and all that, the maximum upload is with my thing 10
Really?
10 megabytes per second. No matter which package it was for the download. A download I can get, but the upload I couldn't. So it might be some sort of the Canadian laws or whatever. I don't know. For that stuff, the net neutrality or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know, man. It seems a little off, but I don't know what mine is right now.
Well, also too, if there are other devices running, he's probably not getting an accurate speed test.
True.
I should listen to this on my.
This would be the time to get Risey on, because then Rick wouldn't hear him swear.
Okay, you gotta tell me what they're saying. They just asked me a. Bullet saying net neutrality, laugh out loud. I don't know. Yeah, my mom just shut down the one computer, one.
That might help.
Actually, I think Rick's screen got better. Maybe. We'll see.
It's still pretty clunky to me. Pixelated.
You know, I've noticed though that it comes and goes. It's not always like that. Some days.
Okay, I gotta listen to you guys on my phone.
No, don't go through your Wi-Fi though.
No, my phone's a different internet service. So I'm gonna hear you guys on YouTube as you speak. So
Rick,
it'll be a little bit of a delay, but at least
Rick's got to use his data to listen to his own show.
Oh, poor Rick. Rick, we feel for you.
What was that?
Pardon?
So we feel for you, Rick.
You feel for me?
Yeah, because stream problems aren't fun. You're trying to do a show. You're trying to entertain people.
Yeah, trying to entertain people.
Model was handing you gold about perspective and.
Bullet says, Rick is using all my minutes. Okay, so at least I'll be able, now I can hear you guys. Might be a few seconds late. At least
a little delay.
Well, if he's listening on YouTube, it's going to be a lot of delay.
Yeah, he's gonna. Well,
So get ready for Rick to respond like 15 seconds later. It'd be,
that's good. That's an awkward conversation to have.
it could be good.
well, it's sounding only like about 5 seconds delay.
I wonder what well, that wouldn't even have anything to do with it. There's different
Maybe
latency you can set up in YouTube, but I still don't think that's going to have an effect.
Yeah.
Why can I hear them perfectly out here?
Because it's something to do this.
Yeah. How old is your computer?
Yeah.
JP, is right when he said.
The laptop I'm using is only a couple years old.
Sometimes things move pretty fast in a couple of years.
How much RAM in the laptop? That's important.
I got 8 gigs of DDR4 RAM.
That should be enough.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with an AMD dual-core processor A9-A410 with turbo core technology up to 3.5 gigahertz.
Here comes the AMD Intel wars.
Well, AMD does have a new one that's really good, a new processor that's awesome. But older AMDs, the problem with the older AMDs is nothing AMD actually did what it said it could up until fairly recently. They always kind of lagged. At least that was the impression I always had. Now, they've got a new one that's apparently insane. I went to the site I bought my computer at that I had mine built, and I put together one with just that new AMD and like the best of everything, dual Titan cards, and the computer was like 11 grand. I was just like, yeah, I won't be getting that anytime soon.
Yeah, what is Intel up to like now? 16 cores or something like that in the i9?
Oh, I don't know.
Something
Maybe.
crazy.
And then I've got an AMD Radeon R5M43 with 2 gigabytes dedicated VR RAM.
Yeah, that should work fine.
I don't know. Streaming can be pretty labor intensive on your video card. I have a 960, and sometimes it has problems when I'm working in Photoshop and streaming at the same time.
Okay. I'm going to work on that later. Although it is coming along better.
Yeah, Rick, we getting a hangout later. I can run you through that perspective.
Pardon? No, I'm still going to do this. I'm just going to work on.
Well, what I was saying is we can get in a hangout later,
Well,
and I can run you through.
I'm going to work on page 5.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perspective, you can't fake it.
You can a little bit if it's your part of your overall style.
No.
It has to be pretty close to right and gel with the look of everything else.
JP4 says, steal a better computer. And he says he's using an Ryzen 7 on my gaming computer.
A Ryzen? A Ryzen 7.
And GP4 says Raiden is like American Motors. ERT's here says all-star lineup. Hey, E. Yes, I have Model 316 with me and Illustration Studios 7.62.
What up?
Okay, so we'll go on to page 5. And you're still finishing up that Batman that laughs, looks like.
Yeah. I worked on it a little bit during Andrew's stream last night, but not that much.
Gamertron says, I just dipped out to get my connection. He's saying 10 meg down and 950K up. So that's less that's less than me, right? Yeah.
Sounds like it.
Okay, so we got another page to figure out how we're going to do things. Show people how I did it before. Oh, we got Mighty Geek in the in this chat.
What's up?
Hey, Mighty. Been a while. And Mighty Geek says, someone please send Rick a better computer. Yeah, I think I made a wish list on Amazon with a better computer on. So we got sight, thinking, reflexes, durability, and protecting from an assortment of weaponry.
Wasn't there incredible speed?
That's the next page. That where it also says intense heat, intense cold, and gives the wearer the ability to fly at great speeds.
It's like the suit to have.
Making the wearer into a virtual Superman. So, do people like the eyes? I know everybody liked the nose and ears that I did before. Or the panel how I did the panels for them.
Yeah, you got to keep the big ear.
Yeah, well, I'm saying for the page 5 to focus on the site I did. If you look on the screen,
Yeah, it was almost like a scope, wasn't it? It had a circle with a dot. Or was that might have been another? But I think it was like.
Oh no, you're thinking from the first page.
Okay.
That was sort of supposed to be an eye. Didn't work well. Oh no, second page, sir. Bullet saying Matt Weldon is on Doug's show today. I had no idea he was all in on Jesus. Jeebus.
You know what you should do, Rick? You should have a cameo from the Canadian Buckler. Like he just runs by in a panel or something.
Well, if I
You got to do some.
closest
You
thing
got to
I
do some
get
fan
is
service, Rick.
page 1 where I have a whole bunch of monitors here. Yeah. Oh, here. Oh, where is it? Where did I put page 1? Oh, right here. All these monitors.
Yeah. Now, who is viewing? Who are the people that are actually viewing? Are they in heaven?
All these
They've got the tech.
No, well,
up there.
this is what I call I've deemed it the Hall of Time.
Okay.
It's basic.
Because they steal the uniform from the bunker. It just disappears.
And he keeps. Well, they're not doing it. It's, this angel keeps, this is on an asteroid way out in the deep depths of space. So he keeps the record of everybody's life, for lack of a better way of saying it. And all these monitors are going to be filled with different things, different people or whatever characters, like. So that one there is obviously going to have man like Cougar. But, I could easily have a buckler on one of these somewhere.
Yeah, just a little cameo. That'd be good.
I'm probably going to put a Skunk Girl in one, or, some of my
don't do
other
that.
characters.
You probably get sued.
No, they're going to be probably so small eventually that you won't be able to notice, but, I can say it's there.
No, you wouldn't get sued.
Okay, you said probably get sued. Which one for that one for?
No.
No, I'm just kidding. You know my ongoing feud with Manny.
Oh.
He blocked me from his channel for saying justice for Rick.
Yeah. But yeah, I just. But yeah, I'm gonna have a whole bunch of different things in these monitors, so it'd possibly be easy to put a buckler in one of these. And then, of course, there's all these monitors, like I'm probably going to do some biblical characters in these,
Yeah. How many pages is this first one going to be?
Pardon?
How many pages?
Yeah, this
It's going to be 24 pages?
23.
Or 20. I recommend 24 or 22.
What was?
You tend to want the story to be
Yeah,
even.
I originally had it at 22, but I added a little bit of stuff and it bumped it up to 23.
Try 24. You can pace it out, like stick in an extra plot. It's best if stories go even page counts. You can do 23 and just have a pin up.
Yeah, and a page to sell the Canadian Shield X-ray glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, well, I do like. I'm not sure whether it's on this. I think it's in here. Give me a sec. Just gotta let something show up here. See, I do have that for like a 24th page advertisement. Avery,
Yeah. What's up?
can you see?
Okay.
Can you
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Okay.
That is gonna be.
That. Okay.
And then I have the inside cover, inside of the back cover, and the back cover to do something with too.
Mhm. Credits, ads, pin up.
Yeah. Well, there I might even just I might end up. I'm not sure whether I'll end up adding an extra 4 pages to put stuff like put in like uh the thank yous from the Patreon and all that.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Oh, not Patreon. Indiegogo. So I think I'll keep the layout pretty much the same for this one. So what else have you got going on today, model?
I got to get out to the shop here in a little bit, actually. I got to get some files running. And they're probably going to take a while, so I'm going to have to sit there and babysit.
Lovely. EFT says the shop working from home is the heat. I just swivel my chair, laugh out loud.
I definitely prefer it.
Yeah, doing something you really want to do is so much better.
look at the CNC stuff in another part of the building because of the dust, and so I kind of have a disposable computer out there that I use because it's like the third one I've killed in the shop from sawdust. And
Yeah, I can see that doing it.
so the one that's out there is not powerful enough to stream or anything. It's just enough to run the controller. I think it's like it's an i5 laptop or something like that. So when you go to Walmart and buy those cheap package deals that they have for a few $100.
Yeah, they're great to have as disposable computers, man. It's like you buy one of those, when it tears up, you just throw it away. You don't keep anything important on it. If it gets gunked up, you wipe it or chuck it. I've gone through a few of those.
He says that's like my Chromebook.
Yep. They're good enough to stream Netflix or YouTube with, if you're watching, and if it gets messed up, so what? You just throw it away. Until I started streaming, whatever computer I did artwork with, I never even connected to the internet, so there wasn't any antivirus on it to be in the background eating up resources. Because I never connected it. The way Photoshop and all that stuff is now, I stream, I have to connect it to the internet.
Yeah, you can't really run CNC controllers off an iPad.
You're better off with an iPad. Bullet says Apple products are overpriced trash. Pay more for less features. Hooray!
The stuff is so nicely designed, they just need to get off their high horse of having to control everything you do with it. Yeah. I can't get into something where I'm not able to use it the way I want to. Although I have heard from like the very dedicated users that the stuff now is not as nice as it was when Jobs was alive.
That's understandable. Every company, that happens. That happens too. When the leader, the visionary, the guy, leaves, either dies or leaves, the quality goes down.
Peter T says that Bullet. The issue is people pay for it, so the competition also raises their prices.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Have you seen the prices on the Galaxy phones lately? $1,600 for the newest Galaxy. That's crazy for a phone.
Yeah, I don't buy those either. If you're willing to stay behind just a little bit, eventually the $300 phones get to where they're pretty good.
Well, everybody used to complain about the iPhones being so expensive, and it's like, well, not anymore. Everybody else is following along.
Yep.
Why don't they just make like a tablet that's powerful enough to do graphics, has the cell service built in, and it has like a little Bluetooth receiver that you can use for answering calls. Eventually, it's going to get to where everyone has one device that they walk around with that does everything.
Mhm.
Some of those Wacom mobile studios are getting pretty powerful.
Oh yeah, yeah. And there's some cheap alternatives out there for people that can't quite afford those, but still want.
What was that one that Asus put out that was supposed to be really good?
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I heard of something like that. And there's some other ones that are off-brand. Some people are saying it's like for $500, this thing isn't bad. I can't even remember the name of those right now. They come out of China.
Bullet says, I can build a PC that destroys the best Apple for under $100. Well, I don't know about that, Bullet.
Oh, don't argue with Bullet, Rick.
Yeah, you can. For what a lot of the apples cost, you can build something, especially if you build it yourself. You know what you're doing. You can save some serious money and have way more power and be more customizable.
Well, it sounds like Thunderbolt and USB 3 and C are going to finally get standardized a little bit, which will be nice. That's the problem is everybody has one or two features that are really nice, and you can't get everything you want on one platform. Like the Apple Pencil is obviously pretty superior as far as that mobile.
Yeah, I've seen some people doing some stuff with that. And I'm like my Wacom thing won't do that.
Let's see.
It's like no brush I can download looks like that. We'll do that. That's weird.
I see people doing the stuff with Procreate. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, it's impressive. I still won't give up traditional on some things though, mostly because I want an original to sell.
Let's see. Let's see. ERT says, like the Note series phones are my favorite, but they're running high prices as well. I agreed to Bullet. And I think Bullet changed his thing from 100 to 1,000. And that
Well,
would
he's right
be
there.
the Surface Pro tablet can have self-service and run i7, I think EAT says.
$1,000 will buy a lot of power if you're willing to put it together.
Mm-hmm. Well, even if you're willing to spend the $2 to $3 grand for a Mac, depending on which one you want, if you're willing, you can get something more powerful built by someone like Ironside or one of the other gaming computer manufacturers. That's more bang for your buck, even if you're willing to pay for it, pay to have someone else build it.
Let's see. Yeah, ERT Tech, you can buy a great gaming PC for a fraction of the cost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Gamertron says, yes, Bullet, you can grate cheese on that PC like you can with new apples. And Bullet goes laugh out loud. ERT says, Apple Pencil is awesome. I do inks on the iPad. They come out great.
Yeah, I've seen some stuff for a second. It takes me a minute to figure out, oh wait, that's digital ink. There's usually a tell when you see the same hatch lines over and over and they're exact. It's like, okay, that was digitally inked. Like the human hand doesn't do that, even if you're trying to repeat the same pattern over and over. But it was close. It's like it almost fooled me.
Well, let's see. A bullet says I can add a custom cheese grater to my rig. Laugh out loud with LED lights even. Gamertron, awesome idea. Disco cheese. And then bullets. The 100 was a typo. Laugh out loud.
I kind of want to see that. Someone actually put a cheese grater into it. That'd be funny. People do weirder stuff. I mean, why not?
Bullets, Road Warrior, PC build. Yeah, that would be almost a neat show to see. Do something like, those competition of building PCs.
Like Cupcake Wars, except for computers.
I think there's YouTube channels all about that kind of thing, actually.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because I've watched some PC building channels before, just because back when I was a couple years ago, when I was going to buy this current computer a few years ago, I watched a bunch of them because when I first started shopping, I was like looking at things. It's like I understand nothing of this now. Some things have changed. Things have changed. I don't understand anything I'm reading. So I had to brush up on some things.
Yeah. Well, what I mean is more the competition of the build. Who can build the best PC in under an hour or something like that, with like $100 or $200 or something like that.
Well, then you get in. Can they buy used stuff then, or does it all have to be new?
Now they have to show the whole thing in real time, so you have to watch them order the stuff on Amazon, and then they kind of sit there in their room and they're like, "Oh, God, stuff's gonna be here in like 3 days," and you just watch them the whole time. We could really stretch out the season that way.
Gamertron says, I'm thinking of getting a 3D printer and running it with a Raspberry Pi 4.
Yeah, you can do that. A lot of the newer printers coming out, you don't even need to hook them up to a PC.
And bullets.
They even have some of the really.
Bullet says thrift builds.
I've even seen some of the lower end 3D printers at Sam's.
Yeah, exactly. You go and do your slicing online, and then you throw it on a SD card. They're saving the money by not having to put the interface in there. Which doesn't, at first you'd think it doesn't make sense, but it actually does. It doesn't have to interface with the PC and communicate, so it's actually cheaper.
Probably takes less time too.
Yeah, see, Bullet knows. He understands my concept there. That as the depression sets in while they wait for shipping, then you start to have the infighting and the drama.
Uh-huh.
Arguments break out. Then someone gets sent home, and they do the sidebar, and they're like, "Yeah, I never did like that guy. He really, his ideas for computers were terrible," and they vote him out. It's really petty.
Oh man.
The camera pans back and forth to them as they're all checking their phones.
Then they start arguing something about NVIDIA versus something else.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Well, I was thinking more something like one of the chef ones where they all got to make their own individuals, not so much groups.
Because I know there's something about NVIDIA that gets on some people's nerves. And I'm just like, yeah, I still just, I want a 1080. I don't care.
Sure, absolutely. But you know how Nvidia got out front
Mm-mm.
because of they started developing Terragen for the government. So a lot of those simulation photos you see of like the Mars lander and stuff, that's all Terragen that's done that.
And there's something about their business practices some people aren't happy with. And I'm like, I just want the really. It's like, well, where's the alternative? That's.
Gamertron says,
Well, I've heard that they generally they'll downgrade the power of their cards through software. So, and then they don't develop a new card. They just every year they put out a new driver that unlocks more speed. The card you currently have in your computer is capable of much more. It's been, throttled.
Yeah, I've heard that. I have heard. It's been a while. But yeah, I don't know. Is that true?
I mean, I don't know. It's just something I've always heard. It makes sense from an R&D standpoint, but it is kind of deceptive.
let's see. Gamertron said, and when they get voted out, the audience decides who gets the extra parts.
Oh, you get the person's parts?
Oh man,
The show's getting better.
I might actually watch that. I wouldn't understand a lot of it, but I still might would watch that.
Well, it says, I'm thinking more real world, but with nerds building PCs. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
shocked.
you got to get all the different personality types too. You got to get like the one that the know-it-all, and then you got to get the one who's offended by everything.
Perfect.
So different versions of Sheldon.
Sheldon.
Oh, he's talking about Big Bang Theory, I think.
You know, Big Bang Theory?
No, I haven't had TV since like I think 2003. I had it disconnected. I don't watch any TV.
Well, Big Bang would have been around then. It lasted 11, 12 years. So,
No,
well,
I
maybe
just watch.
not.
I watch YouTube streams, people talking about comic books.
It tends to be most of what I watch.
Andromeda.
Those are the streams I tend to know about.
Big Steve says keep creating. You deserve way more subs than you got. Thank you. And he says he'll share me out. Let's see. ERT said up there a bit. Well, there is way too much talent here for me, and some smart computer folks too. Bullet says built-in bottlenecks that get removed with software and upgrades. Driver upgrades, laugh out loud.
Oh wow, I haven't upgraded my driver at all.
That was a
I
bit of a
just got noticed
conversation ago,
yesterday that there's a new NVIDIA driver. I didn't do it yet, but
I think I'm probably a couple of drivers behind.
so every time I do it, then I have to redo my multi-screens
Mm-hmm.
and resizing. It's a pain in the butt.
ERT says they call it Gen 2, Gen 3, laugh out loud. And then Game of Challenge, watching someone try to SLI and AMD and NVIDIA card would be interesting.
It's the thing about this computer hardware and software is that unless you are very knowledgeable, there's a lot of stuff they can get away with. Like when Apple was, bricking phones because they wanted you to update.
Oh yeah, I heard
And
that.
everybody knew that something was up for a while, but it's so difficult to actually verify it.
Yeah, that's so awful.
I wonder if I never followed the outcome of that. It'd be interesting to see what happened because I know that Google was doing that to Android phones too. Right around the time I had a Galaxy 3, the phone was great. It was brand new, and I watched that phone just come to a crawl.
I bought a Galaxy 5, and within a few, the Galaxy 7 was already out, and within a few months it died. It didn't last but just a few months, like 3 months. I was just like, yep, not buying another Galaxy.
I had the battery go bad in a Galaxy 6.
Yeah.
It would get so hot you couldn't even hold the phone. You have to shut it down.
I had the first Galaxy. It didn't last long either. Now I just buy I look at what's the $300 LG? That thing will last 2 or 3 years.
That's what I'm going to do from now on.
Yeah, just go find the biggest screened LG you can get for under 500. There's probably something pretty good, and it'll last 2-3 years unless you do something to it. It'll be your fault. You dropped it or.
Yeah.
Because obviously life is not going to get away from being centered around your phone. That's obvious.
Yeah. You need it to. You're going to need it to keep track of email at all times. When you're, social media, all that, streaming.
Okay. Let's see. Bullets from a conversation we had a while ago says, "Yeah, I got rid of cable TV a long time ago as well." Yeah, I don't have. I got rid of it long ago too.
Yeah, I have a very super basic package, but I turned in the box. I don't watch it. It's just it came with the better internet, and I didn't have a choice. I had to take it. It's like I don't watch this. This is awful.
I was working with a lot of companies based in the UK, so I was kind of working on their schedule. So I'd be working at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'd get up and start working, and the whole night is nothing but infomercials. It's like I'm not paying for this. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. No one wants to see this. Like I have to have some sort of TV, but I don't watch it. I turned in the box. I don't want it. If I want to watch something bad enough, like the few TV shows I like, it's cheaper to just buy those shows when they come out on DVD or Blu-ray than it is to have a package that carries all the channels to watch those like 5 shows. It's not worth it.
Let's see. Oh, hello, Perry Comics. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. I'm just drawing up my comic, The Canadian Shield. We got Illustration Studios drawing the Batman that laughs.
You
And we got Model 316 doing some decorations for his house, I think. He was drawing
I'm doing something.
some sort of Winnie the Pooh earlier, I think.
I'm doing something for Bean.
Okay. And I'm going to go back up. Big Steve said earlier, laugh out loud game. I believe there is a way to do that with certain mobs. You don't use the SLI, but I remember that certain combos and AMD Nvidia worked better than expected. Ooh, new driver. I hate hearing that. ERTs. There was a lawsuit. Then Apple had to replace the batteries on a lot of phones. The Galaxy 8 and above are no longer experiencing the Galaxy lag. Or T says, or find Motto, they are pretty much stocked Androids.
Oh, I think he's talking about Moto, the Motorola phones.
And
they keep making phones more fragile. Remember the Nokia brick?
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't tear that thing up. You could throw it across the room.
Yeah, the one that had the push to talk. That was fantastic.
I think I still have one somewhere. It's just a brick.
That was a great phone.
Yeah, man. You could not tear that sucker up. Even some of the early flip phones, like that what was it, the Nokia Razor? It was fairly tough for what it was.
We had those Nokia for work, and you could just walkie-talkie.
Yeah,
it was great.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't hardly tear those things up, man. They're indestructible. Now, you can break your phone throwing it on your bed, landing on a pillow. Yeah. It's because they want to sell you like, a $20 piece of plastic to put on the screen.
Go back up.
And the stronger that they make the material they make the screens out of, the thinner they make the screen instead of just letting it be the thicker. So it's like 5 times as strong.
Well, the overall design is harder to hold on to. They shoot out of your hands.
Yeah, dude, that's like a wet bar of soap. I dropped a phone. This happened to be a few years ago. I dropped a phone on asphalt, cracked the screen. Went and bought a replacement. 3 or 4 days later, my phone rings. I'm washing dishes. I answer my phone. My hands are wet. The phone shoots out of my hand right into the dishwater.
Well, there you go.
That's when I went and got the Galaxy 5, and within a couple of months, it burned up.
That's what they want you to buy, like a $80 OtterBox to go with your phone.
My current LG does have an OtterBox, and the screen. The little screen thing that's supposed to make the screen 10 times stronger.
Okay, so Big Steve said again earlier, I build computers and do some software for myself. Illustration Studio Illustration 7.62 is killing it. Love that pick.
Thank you.
I gotta run, but keep it up. I might mute and minimize to help get hours. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Bullet says, I leave my phone at home all the time, laugh out loud. Perry Comics says, yo, what's up? I said hi already. Sup, ESC is sup, Perry Comics. Perry Comics says, sup, Ortiz, how's it going, man? Good, chilling, and you same at work, looking for something to watch while I work. Cool. Haha. Ortiz says, yeah, they made a new Nokia, the brick phone. That
Oh, wow. About 2 years. Really? I didn't know. I knew nothing of it. That sounds awesome. That thing was great. You couldn't tear it up. You could throw it across the room and beam somebody in the head. The phone be fine. They'd be hurt. But the phone.
He says that was about 2 years ago.
2 years ago, really. I need to track one down just to have it, just in case.
And then he says they even brought back Game Snake back. Laugh out loud. And the battery lasted all day.
Oh, man.
Velnid says, hey all, and that he missed Big Steve. Well, it's good to have you here. You haven't been here in a while, Velnid. And everybody, please be sure to hit the like button and share this out. And I am drawing up the Canadian Shield number 1. So, and we got Avery working on 7.62, working on the Batman That Laughs, which could be up for auction on this Sunday.
Yeah, I'll bring it. I'll bring it Sunday to the auction. Yeah, you got it.
Especially if he gets it done in time. And then, of
yeah.
course, we got Model working on some Winnie the Pooh for Bean.
Yeah, I'll auction it to off tour on Sunday night.
And no Tigger. So, no Tigger 2. Yeah, everybody, make sure you check out the auctions on Sunday night. Avery's usually there, Misfit Corner Comics, Andrew, and sometimes we have other guests.
Yeah. Although Andrew hasn't been moaning that much lately, has he?
Some great art from great artists.
And sometimes I'm there.
Yeah. He just said, just Google. They sell them unlocked at Best Buy for like $60.
That's cool. Thanks. I might look into just having one of those around for a backup.
Do you play Candy Crush on it?
God.
And
Oh,
Velman said it's good to be here. He says he's a big tech nerd. So we see. So we see.
I'll call it. I'll call this done. It's done.
Done.
I'll stop messing with it, or else I'll just overwork it.
Yeah, call it done and start on
Done?
the next one.
Yeah.
He's saying the model number is Nokia 3310 IS, and he thinks it runs a version of Android.
That's cool. Awesome. Thanks. Oh, the N-Gage. Oh, man.
You know, that walkie-talkie feature was something I thought that would catch on, but I guess maybe people didn't want their phones just randomly going off.
Yeah. It was all, but it could get annoying because it'd be people just walking around having conversations and you could hear the whole conversation.
Well, it made that annoying noise, too.
Yeah, the beep.
Like every time you keyed it, it would make that beeping noise. So,
Yeah.
for work, though, it was great.
But I remember, like, you'd be in a store someplace and somebody would just be having this loud conversation, like right beside you in line or something. And you're just like, what is wrong with you?
That still happens a lot, I guess.
Yeah, but not as much as when they had those walkie-talkie phones. Like, it's...
I hated when the Bluetooth headsets first came out.
Yeah, nowadays you just hear one part of the conversation.
Yeah, there's so many like pretty women I thought were talking to me when those things first came out.
Hey, what's up? You're like, hey, what's up?
Hey,
Oh,
how's it going? Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Of course not. Of course you're not talking to me. Oh, the pain. Man, I smudged ink everywhere. So much of this current Strathmore Bristol you buy out there is kind of waxy. And it takes the ink a long time to dry.
With the yellow cover?
Yeah.
Well, that's not good.
It's just tons of it out there. It's just got this waxy finish to it. I don't know what's up.
Is it tempered? Because, sometimes they temper that Bristol board and it gets that glossy surface.
Yeah. I don't like it.
No, I don't either.
But I have like 3 or 4 pads of it. I'm eventually switching everything.
I think they heat press it, and that's what does that.
Yeah. I have a bunch of like Canson watercolor paper, like 12 by 18, and it's like, I like this much better. Plus it's got because I like a lot of dry brush textures anyway, so that watercolor paper helps create that tooth. The paper helps with it.
Yeah, right now I'm using a 2,000-pound paper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on with this Winnie the Pooh.
Well, listen.
2,000 pounds.
Yeah, people are the worst. Hit it with
It's a piece of
fine sandpaper.
Yeah, it's some.
I told Rick I only draw on the real heavyweight stuff. Like I'll draw on a sheet of plywood.
I like illustration board. I just can't afford to buy that much of it to use it. And I can't feed that through a printer to do my layouts digitally. I'd have to print it and then transfer it with like a carbon paper or something.
Yeah, you can't get birch plywood through a printer either.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, it is 1:45. I have to take off, but thanks a lot, Rick. We will talk to you a little bit later.
Later.
All right.
Okay,
take
you
care.
want to promote yourself before you take off?
No, there's no reason to. Let's see. Where's this thing to get out of here?
Okay.
All right.
At the
Thanks a lot. We'll
Later.
see you later.
Later. All right.
And then there were two.
This was a fun piece to do. The Batman, certain characters are just fun to draw, and this guy's fun to draw. I don't know how well it'll sell, but it's fun to draw. Like, I like drawing Spawn, but I can't hardly sell a drawing of Spawn. But he's fun to draw.
Yeah. Everybody, I think certain characters go through certain times or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully he will sell on Sunday for you.
Yeah, I hope so.
Gamertron says he has to go too. He has to make dinner. Do you
Later.
mean lunch or dinner, or where are you, Gamertron?
Some people the term dinner, depending
Means lunch, yeah.
means lunch because it's regional.
Yeah. For me, dinner and supper both mean, like
Yeah,
5 in the evening.
Yeah, but like my mom's parents, who were from South Georgia, dinner meant lunch. In that part of the South, it was interchangeable with lunch.
Yeah. Mighty Geek and Gamertron had said later too. Model said later, guys. Bullet says, do what you enjoy. Everything will come eventually. And Bullet says brunch. Yeah, but brunch is breakfast and lunch.
Yeah, it's in between.
Now I'm just trying to figure out how to redo, reflexes and durability. Reflexes before I had tried to do the whole hand moving thing quick, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure whether that works so well.
I know I said this was done, and here I am noodling with it more.
Yeah, you know why? Just because it's right in front of you.
Yeah.
Every time, if something's right in front of me, I just got to do something to it. For some reason or another.
Yeah, it's like OCD. It's artistic OCD.
So, anybody got any ideas how to might be a good idea for reflexes to visualize it? I can always do the knee, hammer to the knee.
Oh, he's having their reflexes tested?
Well, he's not having them tested, but I'm just the suit enhances
Mm-hmm.
hearing, smell, sight, thinking, reflexes.
So you're just trying to illustrate the concept of reflexes.
Yeah.
You could show them doing something super quick, like they're in training and they're catching something being thrown at them, something that would be extremely difficult for the average person to do. Or you could, they should be in the middle of some sort of training simulation.
Yeah,
Or you could do the little medical test of, doctor smacking him on the knee with a hammer, that little medical
Yeah.
hammer, a little mallet.
Before this is what I had. Some. It does not necessarily man like Cougar in the suit. Just somebody in the suit with their hands. Going. Catching. Like Wonder Woman or whatever. Superman would catch all the bullets or whatever.
Mhm.
Or the Flash, trying to show that super fast. And I'm not sure whether that shows it well enough, or maybe I could do a different angle, not so much straight on. And durability, I had him being hit with stuff. It's just trying to illustrate these things, trying to find a different concept than what I've did before, since I'm redrawing it.
Sure.
And Bullet says, "All art is never finished, only abandoned."
There's some truth to that.
So if anybody's got any ideas, I'd be more than well. Avery's given a couple ideas. Of course, I did my site. Okay, come on. Did the site like I did before. People seem to like that concept. And I'm trying to do the thinking one too. I just used the base, sort of the one that was there, our brain, and trying to show the things going around the neutrons, I think it is, going around the brain. And everybody, if you haven't, be sure to hit the like button, share it out, subscribe if you've yet to, hit the notification button, although I think everybody here is
Ring
subscribed.
that bell.
Especially if you want to know when I'm putting up content. And I'll be back on today, 5. And I will be drawing up either the Invisible Woman or Mr. Fantastic. I decided last week I have the Human Torch, right? So I figured, okay, let's finish that off. Let's have all 4, and that way, maybe I can sell it as a bundle. Fantastic.
There you go. Bundles sometimes go well.
Yeah. Just trying.
Bird.
Would jumping over hurdles possibly think? Well, the panel's pretty small to do that. Show a whole bunch of hurdles and being jumped over.
Yeah, I'd have to read your script and think about it.
Yeah, well, it's like I said, I'm just trying to visualize the showing reflexes for the character. He can fly, so he's not. Character's probably not going to jump over something, but he can.
He would in a certain situation. If he's in an enclosed space and has to get over something within a confined space, he would jump over it.
Yeah. And then it depends on who is in the suit. Everybody has a different personality of how they do things. I'm just trying to, like I said, come up with a better concept, This concept was done 20 years, 15 years ago, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe 10, I'm not sure. But I kept all the assortment of weaponries the same, although this time I've drawn them, not drawn most of them. I might draw a few more in there, bring up some images I have, and put more stuff in.
It's dry. Okay, it's dry. Let's see if I can smear it. Okay, it's dry. This is the test. Could have ruined the whole thing. It's all dry.
Well, probably not the whole thing, but since you've been working on it a few days, I'm sure a lot of it would have been dry, just a little bit not dry.
Yeah.
Bullets laugh out loud.
I went ahead and sent those prints and everything I was talking about with you.
Yeah.
I sent it yesterday. It was yesterday. Everybody's everything from that. It's got something.
Oh, it was Tuesday, not yesterday.
Yeah, it was Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. So I mailed it all out yesterday.
Somehow I think you told Andrew about Tuesday evening because he watched it.
Yeah.
That?
Oh yeah, the Wolverine. Here's the part I can reach. That's what's left of the Wolverine.
Oh no, that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about the skull.
Making out with the skull. Yeah. Yeah, I told him about that too. I told him about me ripping up the drawing and you making out with the skull. I was like, yeah, you gotta watch that. You gotta watch that stream. I was like, Andy makes out with the skull. Somebody give him $25.
So would you do it for $25? Make out with a fake skull?
No. I've done way worse for $25.
You've done way worse, and yet you won't do something like that for $25.
I'm so ashamed.
You should be. Especially since you've done way worse.
$25 is $25, man.
You would think if you'd done way worse that you'd do that.
I'm trying to put the past behind me, Rick.
Hey, Todd.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, yourself?
Good.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, Avery?
Not much. I'm in the middle of redrawing Canadian Shield #1.
Right on.
Yeah, I've been paying attention.
So, any ideas on how to show reflexes? Enhance reflexes?
In a static image?
Yeah.
Just make a nice, powerful pose. Almost, what do they call that? It's like you want to get them into like a rubber band effect, you know? What do they call that in baseball? When you're corking back and you're about to explode. Maybe that kind of a static image, you know?
But would that signify reflexes?
It would show that he has some kind of I don't know what kind of character.
Agility.
Huh?
Wouldn't that be more agility?
It'd be a bit of both. I mean, what is the character? Is he about to fight somebody?
No, no, no. I'm trying to describe it. His powers to people. Like it's like he has enhanced, hearing, smelling, sight, thinking, reflexes, durability. Just
Well, I mean, they do. I mean, obviously, a lot of those, like what Captain America, he doesn't look like much, does he? But he has all that.
yeah.
You know.
But how do you just for one quick static pose to say, well, you're listing it off? How do you put a thing? Like last time I did the whole. You see his one set of hands, and although I didn't put the motions to them, I've got a couple other set of hands, one up, one down. To show going fast, to moving his hands fast, or to catch something like Wonder Woman or Superman would catch bullets or deflect bullets.
Right.
Wonder Woman with her bracelets moving her arms, just so they bounce off. The bullets bounce off. Oh, model says have him catch a fly with chopsticks. That's a interesting one.
That would work.
Model says do a ghost image of the shield springing off objects. Yeah,
Yeah, like doing an obstacle course. Something that looks really difficult.
yeah. But I like the fly one. The fly with the chopsticks.
That does it in one simple image.
And I don't really have to show him. I just show a couple chopsticks with flies wings. The flies wings in between, and fly off. In the whatever.
Ripping a fly's wings off in midair while it's in flight. Plucking the wing off with chopsticks.
I don't know. You got a lot of things there on your list to try to show in one image, but the best.
No, they're all different images. Like I did ears. Hearing is an image of itself.
Oh, I saw that yesterday. That's why you drew a big close up of an ear.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
And that's why a big, close up of a nose, and that's why I've got sight. I've got a brain.
So how about this? How about it's not so much of a static image? It's one of those ghost images. Like he's done something, and you have, like maybe he's jumped around a room a little bit, and then you have multiple images in one image that show he point A to a point B. You know what I mean? They do that with Daredevil a lot.
Yeah, Daredevil, Spider-Man. Yeah,
that might be one way to do that, to show that he did, like almost a little bit of a gauntlet. Like he dodged this, jumped over here, ducked that.
Yeah. JP says that's original. That was to the chopsticks. And Model says thanks, JP. Yeah, it shows him Chinese or Japanese or fresh. No, yes, says JP. And then show him waxing a car, painting a fence, and sanding a floor. Yeah, definitely. Well, definitely. I actually like the fly idea the best. I thought of exactly what you're saying, the whole ghost image stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been done so many times, I'll probably end up doing it in the comics again, but.
If it ain't broke, man, don't fix it. It sounds like a pretty good idea.
Yeah. It's just a lot to fit into
that
one panel.
Yeah.
that'll probably end up doing next week. I'm gonna finish up. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do here. Drawing them in for the durability one here. Because tomorrow is the writing segment, which will be my second time doing that. Be writing up a profile.
Well, like a who's who kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on how I did like not last Friday because I didn't have it on last Friday. I knew because I tried to do some I do this thing called Supercrawl. Tried to sell some artwork and all that. Sold two pieces, one $30 piece, one $10 piece, and a set of my trading cards, not signed, for $10.
Nice.
Cool.
And handed a whole bunch of business cards. So semi-successful.
Yeah, that's great.
Good job.
But hopefully, I will sell a lot more at the Comic-Con I'm going to next month on the 19th and 20th of October.
Man, when you're small independent, it's extremely difficult to get people to pay attention at all. So that's pretty good, man.
Rick, JP4 says, Rick, I've never sold any art. I had lots of people looking, so lots of people saying, "Oh, I'll come back." Never did.
That's the way it goes, man. That's most comic conventions too.
Hopefully, I'm going to have competitive prices. Because all my stuff's going to be original art, not print. So people are willing to pay a little bit more for original art than they are for print, I would say.
Man, some people are really into the prints, though.
Yeah.
It's hard to gauge interest. It has to be the right character.
Yeah. My biggest thing, I'm not probably going to have any prints, unfortunately, because I don't have the money to buy them. I'm like, if I do, it's going to be only one or two characters. But I went and bought myself 8,000 business cards.
8,000?
Yep.
That's a lot, dude.
Wow.
I'm hoping to hand them out all at the Comic-Con because there's supposed to be between 10 and 13,000 people there. But they only cost me the business cards themselves only cost like $52. Then there's shipping and, all that stuff. All the extra little fees or whatever you want to call them.
That's a lot of cards.
Yeah, especially if something changes,
Yeah, I've never made more than 200 or 300 at a time.
Right.
And I've still got some of them from 10 years ago or more, And my information has changed.
Yeah. Well, I just the front of it is, my main characters here. I think I've showed this stuff off before. I'll show it off quick. If I can. I don't think much on it's going to change the information.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just hoping that I can give out that many, at the Comic-Con, just take a business card. Take a business card. maybe I'm over. Maybe I'm, thinking.
Yeah.
hoping-
It's going to take you a few years doing a lot of cons to give away that many business cards.
Even with 10 to 13,000 people there.
10,000 people won't walk past your table. It's you only get a percentage of that, even coming by.
Uh,
Let me see. New York Comic Con, the last time I was there, I don't even think the number of people that took a business card was even got into the hundreds.
oh, wow.
Yeah, and thousands of people walked by.
Yeah, New York Comic Con would be way bigger than Hamilton's.
Yeah.
At least I didn't pay lots and lots of money for them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when you said that many business card, in my mind, it's like, man, that could have been a couple $100.
Are they double-sided? Did you get?
Yeah.
That's good.
That's both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you put some images on the other side, or?
Yeah, I'll show you here. I'm showing you the back at first. Yeah.
Okay.
Zoom in there. Should be able to zoom in, I think.
I can see
Okay.
pretty good. What's on the other side? I don't want you to dox yourself, basically.
Yeah, just put website and email on it. Okay, so that is a heavily graphic image. So
That's cool.
So
Good
that you got a pretty good price on that for that many cards that are like that.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the front, and yeah, this again. It's got my basic logo, the name, my name, website, email. Look for us on Facebook, YouTube, Patreon, Instagram, and Twitter.
Okay, that's a pretty good price then for cards that have like a full graphic and.
Yeah, that was at Vistaprint.
Oh yeah, I've used them. I used them before. Actually, I think I used them for that particular New York to have some new cards.
But yeah, I thought it was a good deal. I wasn't going to be spending more than $50. And it's just because it was so cheap that's why I did it.
Mm-hmm.
JP says you should work with John, make some prints of the shield to add diversity. Yeah. Make some of his prints of the shield to add diversity. Yeah. Well, hopefully if I sell some stuff at the auction Sunday. And Big Steve's back. He said Velned, he was saying hi to Velned, but I'm not sure whether Velned's still here. Model says, Rick, you should leave business cards at crime scenes. Big Steve said, I left it running on mute. Hope you see my heart. I guess he's saying to Velned. You could market them as done by a minority. the John's prints. Add for diversity. So what do you got going on today, Todd?
Oh, I got to do a new Florida Man cover.
And why do you need to do a new one? Hopefully because it's a new issue?
No, it's because the other one was used on the novel, and Mike asked me to, and I know he's been trying to shop it around. And
well, it sounds a bit novel that you have to do that.
yeah, it looks good on the novel. I saw how it came out, and they used a different font than what was created for the comic book, but that's fine.
Bullet says Diversity Shield is the name of my new book. JP4 says another good idea. What would be Diversity Shield sidekick be? Ask
No.
JP4.
The token buckler.
Oh, this could go so bad.
Yes, it could. Maybe I should end now. Bullet says minority buckler. So that's the Minority Report.
Has
Minority buckler.
Has John showed up in your chat? Because I know he's off today.
No, he hasn't been in the chat today.
No. Maybe the lazy bones is swimming. Going for a swim.
JP says, I'll write it for you, Bullet. I was thinking of a liner.
I gotta get this out from in front of me. I'm just gonna keep getting stupid.
Yeah, you put a lot of work into that.
Yeah, but I'm gonna overdo it if I keep messing with it.
Gonna splatter some white on there now.
No, I'm just gonna leave it alone. Leave it alone now. It's got a little bit splattered into it, but it's hard to see on the camera.
So are you done then, Avery?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, well, I think I'll end then. Because, I could just go on for almost ever because of, I've got, another 18 pages to go, not including the one that I'm on. So,
how many pages is your book going to be?
23.
And you're going to crowdfund that?
Yeah.
No, you got to crowdfund. It's got to be bigger. It's got to be bigger. You can't crowdfund a floppy at even $10. That's too high. It's too steep of a price for $20. Maybe, I mean, you have a lot of things you could throw in there, extras and things that you've done, and maybe even sort of a little, this is what it looked like when I was 12, and this is what he looks like today, and a little bit of that kind of stuff. But yeah, I would definitely try to get it up to 40 pages. I don't know what you think, Avery.
I would go for at least, a signed double, perfect bound, oversized, like 48 pager at least.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what I could add to it because this is the first issue. I've, and I sure what I like I said I could go. Bullet says it also needs to take over a year to come out right. No.
I mean, maybe a backup story with a different character that is going to intersect eventually or something.
Yeah, that would be good.
You know, that's what I've been thinking about with Ignition is to give each character sort of his origin story as a backup story and just mess around with that, and then maybe you see why they intersect eventually and stuff like that. You know?
No, it's stuff that I'll have to think about for sure over the next few months. I've got a few months to decide what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it.
I keep seeing how Cyberfrog was stapled, and it should have been, that many pages should have been bound like a trade paperback.
Yeah, I think with the Chromium though, they got a problem folding it that way. Unless he wanted to do like Bloodshot #1, where the Chromium was just set on top, like glued down.
Thank you, Gaming Queen. Gaming Queen is here. So
Yeah, bending the Chromium to make a perfect bound book was part of the problem of doing it that way. But then
especially when you're 80 plus pages, it was not well thought out. But I hear people talking about getting their books to water damage too. I wonder how that happened.
I don't know. I haven't seen any posts by anybody who has theirs yet. I'm looking forward to it.
He just got them. He just got them. What the end of last week or the beginning of this week?
Yeah, we should start seeing books show up soon.
People have been getting the I don't want to call it the one that he did for cancer thing. That cover, people have been getting that one.
Oh, cool!
In the last in the last 24 hours, actually.
Oh, cool. As far as damage from something, when you ship something, anything can happen.
Yeah.
I've worked in warehousing and distribution, and to keep things from being damaged, you have to go crazy, and it still happens. Like you have to try your best to idiot-proof something, and they're still going to find ways to damage it.
Seems like though, I mean, I remember Mike putting his comic in plastic, and putting the what do you call it?
Board it.
Necklace. What was that? It's like a military necklace.
The dog tag, yes.
I remember him sticking that in plastic, and I'm thinking, well, I'm sure, but if it was real thick, it'd be hard to find the right. You'd have to go with Golden Age or something to get the book to fit in plastic. And I don't know if they still sell those anymore.
You can find them, or you can actually go with some other type of bag, like go to Uline and find another type of plastic bag to put it in. You can do it.
We ship wheelchairs. FedEx destroys them sometimes.
Yeah, man. I did a lot of shipping, both freight and shipping things, UPS and FedEx, and we'd really have to go to some extremes to make sure something wouldn't get damaged. As far as what you have to do to protect it. Like when I ship original artwork to people, it's sandwiched between like two pieces of foam cord. Then I wrap it in like saran wrap and then put it in those the plasticky padded envelopes.
Model says the wheelchair needs a wheelchair.
No. Because the abuse things go through being shipped is insane.
Yeah.
And we would get orders for tile. I would have to send like a box of tile, UPS, next day air. And I would just have to pack that tile. I would put it in a box that was pretty close to the same size, pack that with foam pads, tape it shut, then sink that box into another box of packing. To the point it was packed so tight, I would throw the box. I would throw it And if it bounced, I was like, it's good.
JP says, ship gas turbines on rail cars. Even they would get messed up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean,
Crazy.
so if you're talking about shipping thousands of packages to people all over the U.S., no matter how hard you try, you're probably going to have a couple of hundred get wrecked. It's going to happen. You can't stop it. And even if you go overboard, it's going to happen. Somebody's going to, when somebody's going to hit it with a forklift. Somebody's just going to, when they're sorting and loading and unloading, they're just going to throw them. So no matter what you do, I mean, I recommend going a little overboard, bagged, boarded with something rigid in there with it. But it's still going to happen. It's completely unavoidable. And when you talk about sending thousands of packages, you're going to have your damages are going to be in the hundreds of copies probably.
Yeah, he said something like he has to sign 30,000 copies of things, which makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So even if a bunch of those are going to the same addresses, it's still, probably 10, 20,000, I'd say at minimum, things that he has to ship out to different places. And looks like he's shipping stuff that's might even be going to the same address, 3 or 4 different shipping things, which I think is
it's possible because in that situation, because he doesn't have an automated system to consolidate. Yeah, if you ordered multiple things off of multiple orders, you're probably going to get them shipped that way too, because there's no automated system to compile everything. Like where I worked, if one of our branches placed, and they would place like 20 different orders throughout the week, that when it came to their ship day, the system would automatically compile all of it. When we scanned in the orders, it would automatically be compiled into our RF gun that we went and picked it with. So those 20 different orders or 10 different orders weren't picked and shipped individually.
You fixing up that Wolverine?
Yeah, I know. I'm like working on this torn Wolverine thing. Ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. I just started doing it because I'm sitting here, yeah. Because I've worked in things that are kind of similar to what some of these people have going through. Like I've worked in a print shop and ran small printing presses. Nothing large like you would, not these printers that fill a room. But but small printing presses about the size of a minivan. Traditional, like where you have to burn the plates for each color. I've ran those and the die cutters. I've worked in just shipping and distribution, and I can imagine a lot of the problems they could run into that they're not familiar with. Some of the things that can go wrong and do go wrong every day, no matter how hard you try.
JP says, I think I've worked in shipping too much. Worked for R.R. Dowling or Dowley?
Mm-hmm.
Donnelly? Something like that. Well, anyways, you want to promote yourself there, Avery?
You can go check out my channel, Illustration Studio 7.62.
Okay.
Or just find me as Studio 762 on Instagram or Twitter. Either one.
Cool. Todd, you want to...
Yeah, I'm going to be doing some live inking probably in a little while later on today. So then we also have an Anycom TV show. But my channel is Ignition Get Tuned In. And obviously, the Anycom TV logo. I'm sure you've seen that. And we have a show later on today. So we'll be doing a little YouTubing today.
Cool.
So I
Cool.
get my button gear here after visiting my father today.
Cool. And I'd like to thank everybody for coming on the panel today, and I'd like to thank everybody for coming out into the chat. Be sure to check out my links for my Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook, my Patreon. Consider supporting the Patreon, and I guess that's about it. I'll be on at 5:00 tonight, so that's about 2.5 hours away, doing either an Invisible Woman or Mr. Fantastic. I'm not sure yet. So we will see everybody later. Bye for now. God bless everyone.
Bye.
Later.